Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl Lauren Sizzle, and you are now tuned in to one of the hottest talk shows in the nation. We Talk Weekly's After the Talk.
I'm Classy Lady Sparkle. You want to binge listen to our shows? Follow the We Talk Weekly's podcast on iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Spreaker.
What up, folks? It's your boy Charles Gregory. Make sure to follow us on all our socials at We Talk Weekly.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Lily. So make sure you keep it locked to We Talk Weekly on 106.5 FM.
We're back. We Talk Weekly After the Talk on WPPM LP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weekly's After the Talk with your boy Charles Gregory and a beautiful
Lauren Sizzle.
and a beautiful
Classy
and a beautiful
Lady Esther.
and you already know what we got coming up next.
It's the Sizzle.
I was waiting to see if you read. It's the Sizzle. Give it to me early.
All right, so make sure you guys go to wetalkweekly.com and be sure to subscribe. Go to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All right, so singer-actress Ashanti, she is speaking out against Murder Inc. founder and producer Irv Gotti following his accusations that he and Ashanti were involved in a relationship. So Ashanti sat down with Angie Martinez for an interview on Angie Martinez's IRL podcast. Ashanti said, let's clear this up. We dealt with each other, but was Irv my boyfriend? Was I his girlfriend? Never. Irv has several girlfriends, so I'm a little confused by the label and the description. So Ashanti said Irv lied about a lot of what he said. Ashanti admitted she was not surprised by his behavior, and this is the type of person that Irv is. She believes that Irv was trying to intentionally ruin her by exposing that they were involved in an extramarital affair nearly 20 years ago. And we can't forget the infamous Drink Champs interview where Gotti went on a rant for nearly 3.5 hours exposing details about his intimacy with Ashanti and how he found out Ashanti and Nelly were a couple. So Irv said some pretty terrible things about Ashanti, but Ja Rule did come to Ashanti's defense, saying that he doesn't condone or agree with the comments Irv said about Ashanti. But Ashanti also admitted that her and Irv's relationship moved from professional to personal, but she was led to believe that he was legally separated since he did not live with his wife and children. But Ashanti had second thoughts about their relationship and thought about ending it because it would affect, she thought, kind of had second thoughts about ending it because it would affect her career, she thought. And she also talked about dealing with years of harassment and verbal abuse, which escalated to death threats when she started dating Nelly.
Wow.
So Ashanti says she feels like Irv is just in a place of hurt and doesn't know how to channel his hurt as a man. So it was a pretty.
They usually don't.
Yeah, a lot of times they, I'm gonna leave it alone.
It's not their fault.
Yeah.
What you think, see?
I don't know. It was just kind of corny on Irv's part. Like most guys, especially if you're saying that you CEO and you Irv Gotti and you this big person, because they used to flaunt a lot. He used to brag a lot. For him to, after how long has it been?
20 years.
20 years, and you still talking about your old John? Your old shorty?
Well,
2 decades.
2 decades.
Sometimes it be like that.
Sometimes. She said sometimes
I'm
it be
just
like
saying,
Yeah, no doubt. No, but I'm just saying, if you flaunting like that, because I know a lot of
Jones.
brothers that been in the game, and they not talking about nobody that was 20 years ago. You got your hearts, your sweethearts who you think about, that you had a relationship with in the past, but you're not going online and you're not publicly airing them out. You're not doing it. And so for me, it seemed a little corny, man. Like, come on, Irv, like, that was a little whack.
Yeah.
I feel like when people do that, you can tell it's still some bitterness there.
Yeah, for sure.
And you just want to, you still doing that thing where it's like, let me plead my case. Let me tell my story. Like nobody cares.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of people were saying. Like, what?
Yeah. In Irv's defense, though, I will say this. I did hear him sit on a platform of saying that he felt slighted. He felt that he created her career and she just left him pretty much. And I can see, guys, that's probably a hit to his ego. That, you know, you wouldn't necessarily be Ashanti without me per se, but still.
I hear a lot of that in the industry, and it's annoying because it's like, you know, I don't know, man. When people get to a certain point and they start collaborating and things like that, you have some people that feel like, you know, you started working with me. I'm the one who introduced you to that person. So how come now you doing more work with that person than you are with me? Like, people be getting like, it's almost like territorial. Like, just because you introduce somebody to somebody else, it doesn't mean you own them.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And in entertainment, that's where creativity grows and builds, and you get more and more, because like everybody knows 2 minds is better than 1. And when you start mixing up those visions, it's how you get even bigger projects that's even more creative. It's like, oh, so people want to collaborate. That's why, you know, when in music, you don't want to work with the same producers all the time, and then you know, people do that thing where it's like, okay, I want a different sound, so I want to go work with this person. You know, I'm gonna work with Dre, I'm gonna work with Pharrell, I'm gonna work with, you know, because it's different sounds. Exactly. So it's no different than if it's music or film or TV. It's like, so people should be able to move around the way they want to without feeling like, you know, and when as they do that, they continue to grow and get bigger and bigger. They'll keep those relationships if those relationships are true and honest and genuine. But if it looks like, you know, because sometimes not just the person that was put on, it could also be that person that put them on that could be the slime ball. Because it's like, oh, you was just using me to make bread. You know what I'm saying? And now that I'm not doing what you want me to do, you're not even dealing with me no more. And then as soon as I go over here, now you want to talk trash. But it's a bunch of different situations.
Yeah. But kudos to Ashanti, though, because she handled that really good. I was impressed with how because Irv was grinding her up, you know, and I was surprised about how much he was like digging into her, but Ashanti kind of responded in a way that I thought was very classy. You know how, you know, the sexist can be, especially when, you know, as they say, when a woman is scorned or whatever, and she have a right to feel scorned, you know, especially if she felt that he lied to her about his marriage and everything. And so
there you go.
I get it. It's just, I don't know. It's just an unfortunate situation. I just wish Irv Gotti, just being who he is, could have handled this better. Like, Ken, you supposed to be Irv Gotti, CEO, Murder Inc. I can get anybody I want, and you still tripping off it. Come on, man. It just wasn't a good look. That's all.
Yeah. This is like the same reason that people don't mix business with pleasure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so Kanye West has officially been stripped of his billionaire status after Adidas ended their nearly 10-year partnership after his anti-Semitic comments. So Kanye,
why you use that picture? He looks sad.
So Kanye's infamous Drink Champs interview became the nail in the coffin of what began as a beautiful friendship and collaboration that started in 2013. Kanye said, "I can say anti-Semitic stuff and Adidas can't drop me. Now what?" Well, Adidas, who banked an estimated 4 to 8% from Yeezy product sales, said enough is enough. Adidas cut ties with Ye, initiating a domino effect of what looks like to be a detriment. It's detrimental to Kanye's career. So this separation, along with Balenciaga severing ties with Ye, caused an estimated decrease of $1.5 billion of Kanye's net worth, stripping him from his billionaire status, thereby allowing Diddy to take the second spot of wealthiest billionaires, Jay-Z being the first. So Kanye's anti-Semitism has officially got him blackballed, with many others distancing themselves from the artist. Kanye was escorted out of the Skechers corporate offices in LA after he was there uninvited and unannounced trying to film something. But Skechers made it clear that they had no intentions in doing any business with Mr. West. CNN released an article titled Kanye West's Anti-Semitism Did What Anti-Blackness Did Not. And some people have a problem with that. That was the headline. So many black celebs, such as Lil Boosie, gave their take on this clear contrast. So what are your thoughts about this? And let me say the title again. Kanye West Anti-Semitism. I don't know why I'm struggling with this word today. It did what his anti-blackness did not. And some people have a problem with that.
I'll start with Lady Esther. What's your thoughts?
Why you don't listen? Don't throw him this way.
Don't throw him this way.
You already know. I don't have nothing to listen. Go ahead, Sport.
Oh, dang.
They threw it to you.
What's the question? Because it's a lot going, and y'all hear my voice. It's a lot going on with Ye. So what's the question? Like,
So basically what they're saying is that Kanye West is like, you started your anti-Semitic comments and that got you kicked out the game, but your anti-blackness comments did not. So CNN had this, headline saying his
So
anti-Semitism
layered,
did what his anti-blackness did not.
I'm gonna let you go, Spark, because I'm about to get on my.
okay, all right. I
don't think none of it matters.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I think that some of what Kanye is saying, and we can debate it, and you can be like, oh, well, what do you think? Some of what he's saying to me is not totally wrong. Mm-hmm. Some of the things that he's saying, I agree. Okay. However, I'm not surprised. Mm-hmm. I am not surprised. He said slavery was a choice. How could we know about the oppression, we know about slavery, it wasn't a choice, we know what they did with the boat and everything, but when he said that, there was no cancel culture, there was no cancel sponsorships, but I'm going to jail.
No, no, not you.
Yeah, you.
No, not you. I'm saying, that's for Kanye. That was for Kanye. No, you go.
However, as soon as he speaks about the Jew, that he's a Jew, but then the Jewish community, now it's everything is, but at the same time, I'm also glad that this happened because everything from the time Trump got in office, everything that was behind closed doors are now in broad daylight. Mm-hmm. So because he was, and I think he's trying to call himself like a sacrificial lamb, I'm glad that it's being this overt, this illuminating thing to say, this is what we deal with every day, all day in America. One thing I can say about Kanye West, he is a billionaire. Well, I don't know what his
on the books.
His coins,
on the books. You don't know what he got tucked in.
However, they did it to Michael Jackson, who's internationally known. And he's, he had to get the revelation as a black man that I don't care how much money you have, although money has its own color, you still a
bruh.
That's it. I was going to say the other word, but I don't know if that answered the question because it's a whole lot that goes in it and there's so many layers to it. But I'm going to Hail Mary it over to C.
No, I see it. Go ahead, Lady Esther. I see that look on your face.
I don't know. I just feel like it's media is always going to spin things the way they want to spin it. They're going to give the attention to where they want to give the attention to when it comes to certain things. We're going to make this a big deal. We're not going to make that a big deal. But in terms of, like, you talk about his finances and you said ripped him of his bill. He ain't ripped him nothing. The money that he has. And I think even, who did I hear say this earlier this week? Russell Simmons was like, he don't really need them. Yeah. He's got enough money. He can go make his own stuff and distribute his own stuff and people will still buy it. And then he won't even have to worry about having that middleman who's going to take a cut. That's going to allow him to make even more money. So he's not going to want for anything. None of this is going to stop his bag.
But when you make so much money, it's not about the money no more. And
It's
that's
not.
what Kanye and like I mentioned, Michael Jackson, it's beyond the money
Yeah,
now.
it
It's beyond the money. Once you've been to that billion year, it's like, okay, with $1 trillion gonna make me feel different. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so it's just I'm gonna shut up. But someone was telling me the other day, they said, how many billionaires came out of Chicago? You got Oprah, you got Michael Jordan. He didn't come, he's, you know, from Cali or North Carolina, but a lot of money came out of Chicago for him. You got Michael Jordan, you got Oprah Winfrey, you got Obama, you got everything from the politics to the women to the culture.
What's going down here in Chicago?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Why is that such one of the highest ranking crime places in the world? Did anybody take all that I'm talking billionaires now. Oprah, billionaire. Ye, billionaire. Michael Jordan, billionaire. Obama, not maybe at that billion, but not far from it. All of these people, and they're black, and their roots are from Chicago. Like, what's the billions for? I don't know.
That's a good question. It's a really good question.
All right, wait. You gotta put something. Let's put the cape on. You know,
I'm gonna say because I'm gonna try my best to be very careful with what I say. But what I will say is the optics are wrong with this, right? And I 100% agree with that. Your question, 100% agree with that. And the reason I agree with that is because literally, and I did this because this was for Kanye West. Like, I think last show I said Kanye West need a verbal punch in the mouth. The things that he's saying was totally disrespectful across the board. Anti-Semitism, I get it. The black folks, like, come on, like George Floyd. Like, come on. Like, you know, when you talk about, you know, being a slave is a choice, come on. Like, you know, even, you know, they say Kanye West is a free thinker. He says he's a free thinker. People support him in being a free thinker. And I get what he was trying to say with that. Because Harriet Tubman said, I could have freed, it's like a saying, I freed a lot of slaves, but I could have freed a lot more if they knew that they were slaves or something like that, right? And so in that position, right, if you think of that quote, literally it was people choosing to still stay and be a slave, right? So I'm assuming that's what he was talking about. I could be wrong, but that's how I interpret it, right? But even still, the optics are wrong. And you didn't put it in context. And a lot of people say that Kanye West isn't smart enough to do that. You know, some people say, well, he's a genius. He should have known. You know, I'm not here to discuss rich people problems because I could care less, right? But what I will say is that the optics is wrong. And the one thing I do love is my people. And so we needed more Van Joneses. Every time Kanye West said something, we need somebody like him to say, wait, pause, right? I'm gonna turn this music off. You know, we need somebody to say, no, you're wrong, and you're not gonna continue singing it. And when we talk about cancel culture, canceling, to the end of the question, right? What cancel culture as it relates to black folks, we should have been like, nah. We're not letting you do that. We going around killing people and beating up people. We not smart enough or tough enough or whatever you want to say, got a backbone enough to be like, nah, Kanye, you ain't doing this nonsense. You ain't doing this. That said, the optics is wrong with the anti-Semitism too, the people who's responding to that. Because when you talk about finally Adidas and Skechers and the bank and Balenciaga saying, oh no, we're canceling. Well, where was y'all when he said slavery was a choice? Why ain't y'all say something, especially if you're saying that you allies to the black community. Where was y'all then?
Even when they said that about George Floyd.
Exactly. Where were y'all then? So I have a problem with the optics of it. Yeah, should he be canceled?
When he said
yeah,
that.
when he said that, right. So I have a problem with the optics of what this looks like, and you have a lot of black folks seeing this, saying like, yo, like, nah, that ain't a good look. Like, I get it, Kanye West need to be disciplined for that. Whatever discipline looks like, need to be corrected for that. Whatever correction looks like, right? And I get that. But where were y'all talking about? Where were y'all when he should have been corrected then? When Van Jones spoke up and we had the powers that be at TMZ ready to fire Van Jones because he said something to correct it. The optics are wrong. And that gentleman just happened to be Jewish. Right? And so we have to really have this discourse, this uncomfortable conversation to say, well, what happened? It could have been like people was just shocked about it. Right? Oh, or just saying, man, yo, that's just Kanye West. Right? He's a loose cannon like that. But there's a growing conversation about things that's happening in music right now that's ran by the powers that be, that's pushing this hate music, that's pushing kill, murder, drugs to black communities, and nobody talking about canceling that. Right? And so if we're really going to have this conversation, let's really and truly have that. So when you talk about canceling, it's hard to be 100% on board with anti-Semitism and cancel this when you were looking at anti-blackness and you didn't, you thought it appeared that you were okay with that. That's what it looks like. Again, is it true? Is that what actually happened? I don't know, right? This is all speculation, right? Because we don't know, right? But what I'm going to say is the optics looks bad. The optics look very bad. So when we have people that's speaking out about, anti-Semitism, you got people speaking out against that and supporting, I want to say supporting Kanye, but kind of pushing back to y'all because we like, wait, nope, you're not at the table. You got to fall back. Nope. Because you wasn't, that's not working. So we have to have a discourse about this. And this isn't something that's going to end tomorrow, but I don't like how Adidas responded either. Like the optics was there about that. They did this campaign that said bye, something like that, B-Y-E, like bye, right?
Yeah.
Which I didn't like because they're talking about, okay, well, we're still creatively, we're going to put out a sneaker, allegedly. They're going to put out a sneaker like a Yeezy. But I'm sitting here saying like, yo, real fashion folks, who's going to buy a sneaker formerly known as Yeezy? Nobody. So guess what's canceled? Adidas, you're canceled.
But even talk about Adidas, where that derived from.
Yeah.
Who owns Adidas?
But that's my point. Not only that, there wasn't going to be an Adidas if it wasn't for Run DMC. Run DMC put them back on the map.
Right.
And guess what color they are? That's my point, right? So we got to have a huge discourse about that. And we got about 5 minutes. I'm going to throw it back to Sizzle, and we can continue this conversation again. You wanted to say something? Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say,
crazy.
their other biggest partner right now is Beyonce.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ivy Park.
Ivy Park has partnered with Adidas. So, I mean.
Yes.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if you see, well, they said stocks plummeted with Adidas. And I wouldn't be surprised if Beyonce kind of discontinue her partnership with. I just because the whole thing seemed messy, I wouldn't be surprised if her people saying like, you know what, let's not continue the relationship, let's not continue the contract. Maybe you can do something on your own.
Right.
Because that's what they're talking about. You can have your own Ivy Park without Adidas, and she has enough money to do it.
Well, Ivy Park was already its own thing.
For sure, yeah.
And then the partnership with Adidas, I mean, it was cool because then you had this one product that had both like logos on it. So it was like you had your Adidas sweatpants with stripes, but it still had Ivy Park on the side too. You know what I'm saying? So it was like they blended the brands. So yeah, and that could be one of their thought process. Like, well, we got her now, so
Yeah, for sure.
thinking like that, like they thinking they would still be good without him. You know what I mean? But that's the thing.
See, they play.
When you do certain things, you don't know how it's going to trickle down.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm not wearing no more Adidas. They were struggling as it is, but I'm done with Adidas. Yeah.
Like that's cousin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Ye
for
is
sure.
cousin
Yeah,
to Jay and,
Like, yeah,
and B.
yeah.
So it's almost like
Yeah.
they've had their tiffs, but
Yeah, that's right.
at the end
Most
of the
people in the hood get it.
Yeah.
When you part of the family, I could punch you in the mouth, but nobody else
Right,
can punch you
exactly,
in the mouth, right?
exactly.
It's one of those things. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm sorry, Sizzle. We kind of
Yeah.
go ahead.
All right, the celebrity sizzle. It goes to the 2022 Soul Train Awards. They are kicking off on Sunday, November 27th at 8 p.m. with actor, comedian Dion Cole slated to host. This year, they're going to honor 90s R&B girl group Escape. Members Candy, Tiny, Tamika, and Latasha. This year, Escape will be honored with the Lady of Soul Award, and they're going to join a list of some phenomenally talented women who are also recipients of this prestigious award, such as Jill Scott, Jilly from Philly, Brandy, Monica, Ashanti, Yolanda Adams, and Faith Evans. And some of their hit songs include Just Kicking It, which spent 4 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100. And it peaked at number 2. Who Can I Run To? Understanding My Little Secret. Escape released a statement saying, given how important Soul Train is to all of us, we're so thankful to be honored with the Lady of Soul Award this year. It's going to be an amazing night, and we can't wait to see you all there. So shout out to them. Make sure you guys subscribe.
That's right. Make sure you guys subscribe and leave a comment. Tell us what you think. If you heard anything today in terms of something you felt like was interested, make sure you leave a comment. Make sure we on Facebook too. So they got this new star system. Send us some stars, man. You got to send us some stars, right? You on Facebook, you on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, all that good old stuff.
And you can share the video.
You can share the video, tell a friend and tell a friend and tell another friend. This is where the cool people hang out. We talk weekly, right? And so thanks for tuning in today. We're actually at the end of the hour, 9:59. We good. You know what I'm saying? Anybody got any last words? We got about 15 minutes, 15 seconds.
Go Phils.
How about that? There you go. That's all that need to be said, right? I know. We Talk Weekly after the talk with WPPM LP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weeklies after the talk with your boy Charles Gregory and the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle.
and the beautiful
Classy Lady Sparkle.
and the beautiful.
Lady S. Dizzle.
No doubt, we out like last year, y'all. Hello.
Go, go, go.